Jim, it's been a really strong start to the season. What excites you most about how the team has played on the record-long road trip and the way we've opened the year?
Well, I mean, the most obvious answer is the success that we've had in the win-loss column. I think that's what you strive for, and it started out on the right note in Newfoundland. Special experience for all of us, in particular our club with the 4 Newfoundland natives, so a little bit extra incentive there. But generally, in my experience over the years, is when you start these road trips off on the right foot with some success, it bodes well throughout the rest of the trip. And I think we did that. We rode the wave of momentum. Played really well in Newfoundland. You know, I thought we got lucky in a couple of wins in Quebec, but I think when you're on a roll, that's what happens.
And 350 career wins in the Q. How proud are you of that milestone, and how does this year's team compare to some of the groups you've coached in the past?
Well, the milestones, it's a number. It's a number that's impressive to people outside, but when you're in the day-to-day process, I think it's just a mark of longevity. I've been really blessed and fortunate to be around a lot of terrific people here, both players, staff, ownership, fans. It's been a great ride, and we want to continue the ride. And relative to this year's team, I mean, it's got a lot of the earmarks of some of the teams that have had success in the past. We're a lot bigger this year. I think we'll be able to play, a grinding playoff-style hockey, which is something that we've preferred and we've had a lot of success with here in the past.
And at the start of the season, the battle between our 4 20-year-olds was a big storyline, with Leak off to a really hot start, Petal boosting the power play, Jardine anchoring the back end, and now a trade of Kyle Powers and the addition of Dylan McKinnon. How do you feel this roster is shaping up in that regard?
Well, the overages is always a key element to the success in your team. We knew we had 4 really good ones coming in. It looked like, obviously, with the success that both Leak and Petal have had out of the gate, it was going to be difficult for Kyle to get an opportunity. He did want a chance to play in the league, so we were fortunate to be able to find a spot for him in Bay Como. And then with the recent injury to Max, he's looking at probably a month loss. So I thought it was imperative that we move on this, and to get a kid of Dylan's stature, a guy that's played, I think, almost 50 playoff games, 250 league games, won a championship last year, a right shot, big snarly defenseman that fits into our mold, was too good to pass up. And it still leaves us with 4, but it gives us some runway here to make a decision after the injury.
And if Ivan Ryabkin becomes available from the Chicago Wolves, how likely is it that he'll be joining the Islanders, and what kind of boost could a player like that bring to this lineup?
Well, we're working through some of the contractual obligations with Carolina at the moment with Ivan. They're testing him out at the American League. He's in a unique situation in the fact that he could be AHL eligible this year. A lot of kids, if for instance they came out of the CHL, wouldn't be. He is. We'll know more in the coming days, but a lot of productive talks with Carolina, so we keep our fingers crossed that option's still alive.
And with players coming in and out, how important is it to maintain a tight, close locker room? Some of the players during the offseason said last season was the closest group they've ever been a part of. Is that something you want to build again this season, and is that something you keep in mind?
Well, I think every team, every year you strive to have a close-knit group. And you look no further than the success that the Blue Jays have had in baseball on the national stage right now. And we hear and not only, I think more importantly, see how close that group is with the camaraderie. This group has been really wonderful off the hop, and I think the success on the road trip is the best team building exercise you can do.
And coming up, we've got some big home games. How important is it to keep our winning ways going?
Well, we have to start playing better. The success has been in the win-loss column, not necessarily in our stylistic and in our analytic numbers. So we're excited the fact that we've got out of the gate. We've been able to outscore our mistakes. Now the next step is to lessen some of those mistakes. It's been nice that we've been able to score. It's something that we've strongly missed here in the last couple of seasons. So to be able to have that early on, I think gives you a bit of a buffer as well. But I'd like to see us start playing better here on home ice.
And finally, Donald Hickey is off to a really good start with the Islanders. Has he cemented that #1 role this year, and what are your thoughts on his play so far?
Well, I think it's too early to anoint anybody #1, #2. We've got a great goalie tandem, and that's the way it's going to be all season. I think to get through the rigors of a long season, you have to have 2 quality goalies, and we've used both of them off the hop here. Donnie's off to a great record win-loss-wise. He's going to get the start probably more times than not, but we'll have to wait and see how it goes.
Perfect. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.